Yo, what is up, PPL fans? Shad here, coach of Bayern Munich, and welcome to PPL Season 5, Week 2. Back with good audio quality, hallelujah. Thank you all for the support on Week 1. It has been absolutely insane. It's currently, I think, 75 likes, which is the most I've ever gotten, which is fucking wild. I love you all, thank you very much. But, that's not important to what you want to watch. You just, it's not your issue. We're up against Travis D1's Canberra Toucannons. However, as I said, my team analysis, which you should check out by in the link in the description down below. He was on a trip, so unfortunately I can't play him. Instead, I'm going to play my very good friend Colton, Shoutout Gaming Hub, former PPL coach of the Osaka EVs back then. And yeah, his link in the description below, as well as Trav, of course. Trav is a fantastic player. PPL Season 3 champion because he's a memeing bastard, and Colton is eventually gonna come back to PPL as well. I can spoil you that right about now. Other links, the person who made the intro, it's Night, or it's Nightx, I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but fantasy work there. PPL fan server, PPL shirts, fan server, already said that, public spreadsheet, YouTube channel for power rankings, the Twitter for information, Raikkonen for the graphics, Juan for joining my team, and Potato Jim for recording the match. So those are all the shoutouts I need before the game, I think. Let's get into what Colton decided to bring in. As you can see, he brought Quillfish, Primarina, Ladias, Arcanine, Crocodile, and Terrakion. So, that's interesting, because there is no fucking Celesteela. I don't have to worry about that fat piece of shit. And that's very good, because Primarina. Celeste is a huge annoyance to my team. Kind of glad not to see it, but on the other hand, I also see a Primarina, which is very spooky to my team, because I just don't have a switch in. And a Quillfish, which can serve hazards, and that's annoying. And also switching to Finny, like, almost every time, if he's more SPDF invested. So that's a little bit problematic, but let's click that play button right here, and it's going to take a couple of seconds, but I'm going to decide to lead with my Rotom. That was the game plan from the start. Lead with Rotom. If he leads Crook, I get a burn off. If he leads with Quillfish, Primarina, or Arcanine, I get a Volt switch off, and that's cool. Ladias, Terrakion, I'm sad. So that's kind of how that goes. And as you can see, we are challenged by Pokemon trainer Colton, and as you will see, I'm going to lead off with my Scott. And he's gonna lead off with 1-3-3, and that is his Quillfish. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna switch out into your Crook and be scared. So I'm gonna click will this turn 1, because you would like just straight up die to a Volt Switch. However, he turns out to be faster than me somehow. I don't know how much speed he has, but it's a ton, and I can't use Will-O-Wisp. On the following turn, I make a bit of a bad play. I just go for a Volt Switch, kind of thinking that he might just be a straight up suicide lead because he stayed in on a Rotom. That just seems like bit of a suicidal thing to do. Because of the second Intimidate, so Rotom's attack is somewhere between 2 and 5 right now, and Volt Switch gets blocked. So I'm hoping he doesn't have Pursuit right here, so I'm just going to switch out. It turns out he doesn't have Pursuit, or doesn't go for it at least, and that's beautiful. I'm of course going to go into Azura. That's my dedicated switch into this anti-Terrakion, so that's just not fun. And of course he's going to go for the knockoff, and Azura is going to lose her leftovers, and that means we're in a bit of a pickle, because we don't get a recovery, and enough Witch and Rachi this week. So, this time I'm going to go for Nature's Madness here, because he's not staying in. If he is, he can't kill me, or 2 kill me from his range. He turns out to go into his Primarina, and I can just get the thing down to half, and that's very lovely. I actually hit Nature's Madness, which I don't think was possible. Pretty sure that move always misses. But, Primarina goes down to half, and I don't have a switch in. However, I think he's going to go for the Moonblast, potentially the Energy Ball, and Tian can, of course, eat it up. So I'm going to go into Tian here, as he goes for the Energy Ball, which is perfect. I was more expecting Moonblast, not gonna lie, but Energy works fine, as that does absolutely nothing. I didn't calc this damage. I don't know why I didn't. Bad play on my end. So, at this point, I think Crook is way too risky of a switch, and I think he's going into Arcanine, because that can eat any one hit, or any 2 hits usually, and he goes into Crook. So, if it was an Energy Ball variant, which against the Primarina was entirely possible, this thing would be fairly low, if not dead. So I'm going to switch out, hoping he still doesn't have Pursuit. Nope, he does have Pursuit, he just didn't reveal it earlier. It's a good play on his end. And I go down to pretty much no health, but I get my ear Papa Berry back, and I get back to a decent amount of health. Now, I could have stayed in there, obviously, but I didn't know if he had Pursuit, so I think that was a very unnecessary play for me to stay in. However, in case he's locked, I'm going to my Aerodactyl, and he's going to have to be scared of. This Crocodile is really important to his team. I'm a Z eligible one, so I could have the Hydro Vortex. He stays in. I go for Home Claws. If he has Stone Edge, I just die. So that's terrible. Turns out he just goes for a knockoff, and I live that. It's a 2 kill though, even though I don't have an item essentially, and that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna pause right here. So I have a +1 adamant, which he doesn't know, but it's not important. Z move eligible Aerodactyl right here against this Crocodile at full health, which is still important. In my opinion, it is very, very important because otherwise he has nothing for Rotom. This thing can still have any one hit from Jirachi and knock it out, and Jirachi is a huge threat to his team. And just overall, he doesn't need Quillfish in my opinion. He doesn't need it at full health. If I go for Hydro Vortex, he eats it up. If I go for a Supersonic Sky Strike, oh well, Quillfish goes down, or almost goes down, but it gets me down to neutral attack. Quillfish isn't as important as Crocodile. I'm gonna make that statement, and I stand by it no matter what. So he's gonna, in my opinion, he's gonna switch out. I'm gonna make the big boy play, put on my big boy pants, and go for the Continental Crush. Expecting that, I didn't second guess myself for a second. I just was like, he's switching. I'm clicking Continental Crush right here. As it turns out, he thinks that Crocodile is a bad Pokemon and should die. So I overpredict, and I go for the Continental Crush, and he says, and then he's gonna knock me out with a knockoff, which I don't think was a roll. I think it was actually, and you know, I don't get lucky. So we get to see a Continental Crush at least, but I truly believe that was a bad play on his end. I will stand by that. But you know what happens. Maybe I'm just stupid. I overpredicted. That's entirely possible. But look at that damage, though. I did 90% to a Crocodile. Jesus Christ, these moves are fucking broken, dude. And Kingsley goes down. So Kingsley was really important, obviously. But you know, what I can do now is trap the thing with Dugtrio. Ropa is gonna show its debut, and it's gonna knock out this Crocodile with an Earthquake. So I needed one more Pokemon, then I really should have to kill this Crocodile, but alas. If we were just going for Aqua Tail there, I would have been in an amazing position. The thing would be dead, and then I can either get another kill or find out what his Scarfer is, or almost get another kill, essentially. So, yeah, I think it was a bad play on his end, honestly. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, maybe I'm just stupid. So he brings in Quillfish. I'm like, okay, maybe a Shuka, maybe a Waterfall and Aqua Jet Shuka, and something like that. So I'm just going to switch out. Play safe, but he just gets the spikes. So if I was just to go for rocks or an earthquake, that would have been nice. But he makes that play, which I don't really agree with, but it's fine. Not the worst thing in the world, because apparently now he wants Quillfish to die. I don't know. So Rod is gonna come in. I'm gonna go for the Psychic. Maybe I should go for Thunderbolt, but Arcanine was a very possible switch in, so Psychic definitely was the better play. But that's an assault as Primarina in my opinion. In my guessing abilities from Wi-Fi being trash. So I'm going with my Rotom here, knowing that I can take any one hit, barring a Specs Shadow Ball, and he goes for Serve. I'm like, okay, I can eat this up because you're Assault Vest. Turns out he's in Torrent Rage, and I didn't realize that. I thought he was Specs at this point again, so I was really confused what this thing said. And I just click Volt Switch here. It will knock out Primarina, will get me in momentum against anything because he sacked his Crocodile. And that is going to take the clean 10-15%, so that tells me this is probably an offensive variant of Pokemon. Would have taken like 2. I can go into Tien here, and because Z moves are broken and allowed, I'm gonna have to scout here because from this range, I can take. There you go. I have to pause again. This is terrible. Editing Shotty is gonna hate me, but from this range, I can live an unboosted Shadow Ball. I cannot live a Life Orb one, I think. At least it might be a roll. And I can obviously not live a Never Ending Nightmare because that shit is fucking broken. Now, if he isn't a Life Orb or a Never Ending Nightmare variant, I think he should switch anyway. Just because if I T-Wave him here, it's looking very, very good for me. Because if I was a bulky variant with T-Wave, I would just, you know, paralyze him and win. And I am pretty bulky, so if I T-Wave, this would be fine. So I'm gonna have to scout for a Never Ending Nightmare because, again, Zimus are fucking broken and should not be allowed. And essentially lose a Pokemon for no real reason. So Tien is gonna get out of there. I'm gonna bring in Scott and sack it off, unfortunately. And the Shadow Ball just comes in. It's just a regular Shadow Ball. As you can see, he's not a Life Orb. This is actually potentially Scarflight is what I'm thinking at this point. So that's unfortunate. But what I can do now is go into Azra and default the Spike away because it's really fucking pissing me off that it's there. I don't like it. It's annoying. And Rachi can actually still have a Shadow Ball, assuming the thing is Scarf. And I like Specs, which I think is entirely possible, but rather unlikely. So yeah, he's gonna bring in Dr. Brion again. And I wish I went for Moonblast, but I really want to get the spike out of my way. And since I don't have a switch in, I'm just gonna have to stay in and go for the Moonblast. And he's actually going to outspeed me. He has a ton of speed on this Primarina, which is unfortunate. Because I don't have any speed on my Azura. Tapu Fini, that's the one. So the fight between the Water Fairy types is on, and I'm going to go for my own Moonblast. Hope to get a drop, because then I can just 2-hit kill the thing, or without having to worry about dying. As you can see, I get a drop, so I get lucky ones. That's nice. But he's going to reveal that he is actually Assault Vest, so at this point I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to knock him out with another Moonblast. So he was in Torrent range, obviously, earlier, and that didn't click with me, because I didn't think he was low enough, so it didn't even occur to me. So, yeah, play on Showdown, kids. So he's going to bring in his Arcanine, and I'm going to try to scout a little bit of its set, maybe it's Life Orb or anything of the sort, so I'm just going to sack off my Fini. It doesn't do anything at this point. And he just goes for the Wild Charge, and it's going to knock me out. So Fini goes down, but it got another kill, so 2 kills in 2 games for Fini. Yes, that's cool. But what he can do now, the only way I can still win is if I get off a Memento and win with my Zard, essentially. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Go into my Dougie here and just go for the Memento. I really want to go for Rocks in case he is Shed Shell. As you can see, he is Shed Shell, or he isn't. E-Speed variant, either or. So I wish I would have gone for Rocks and then Memento, but alas, I did not. So that's... If I went for Rocks, I think I would have had a slightly better chance at winning at this point. But alas, I get this Latias to -2 at least, and I can bring in Draco Meteor, because a -2 Draco Meteor is not going to kill me. And if he goes for the Draco, I win. I think, at least, because I can get up 2 DDs and then just win. That's at least the plan. But he does switch out, he makes the smarter play, he doesn't choke this game away, and he goes into his Arcanine. However, if the thing doesn't have like an Outrage or a Bulldoze, I win. Because I can set up 2 DDs on the thing, because I'm a really bulky Zard. You know, it's the only Zard, really. So we're going to see Mega Charizard X for the first time this season. And I'm going to set up my first Dragon Dance of the season. And we get to +1 and neutral attack. So, I'm going for another one, because the only way I can win is to get +2. I'm fairly certain that's a Scarf Latias in the back. Also, I can't kill this Arcanine at neutral. So, I'm going to go for the second Dragon Dance, see what he goes for. Can I win? No, he has Bulldoze, and that's going to be the game right there. I'm just going to fire for Dragon Claw, nothing can switch in. And even if he had, it would just lead to a Thunder Punch, so yeah. I'm just going for Dragon Claw, hope that it actually kills, because if it doesn't I might lose. 4-0, nope, it dies. 3-0, cool. So, Arcanine's gonna go down. That's a straight up 1-hit KO. That's really spicy. So Latias comes in, and this is the moment of truth. Can he miss a Draco? No, of course he cannot, because I do not get lucky. So Draco's just gonna absolutely obliterate my Zord. It looks stupid. I don't like the new Draco animation. It's terrible. So yeah, if you were to miss a Draco there, I could have of course gone into Jirachi there and hoped to go from there. But if he, I think my best play was definitely hoping for a miss with Draco. At this point, I lose. I think I just click Calm Mind. I think the only way I could have won is because Toucannons lives a Psychic, so even if I went for it, that would not matter. I think my only way was to go for T-Bolt there, get a Para, and then kill him with Psychic, or get a full Para and Psychic him twice, and then get a Para on Latias as well, after taking a Shadow Ball. So I think I could have won that way, but unlikely. So Close Combat is going to knock me out, and we lose 3-0 to Colton and Trav's Canberra Toucannons. So, GG Colton. Again, fair amount of plays I do not agree with, but, you know, that happens. And, yeah. Sadness. much sadness. So, we move on to 1-1. Still +1, though, because we won for week 1, and we lost 3-0 this week, so that's cool. I definitely think the matchup was awful. I will not hear anything against it. My matchup was terrible this week. Defensively, obviously, I had very good offensive threats against him in the form of Zardex and Aerodactyl mainly. Even my Jirachis had 2. But defensively, I just didn't have anything that could even remotely set up to his stuff. So, yeah. Unfortunate. Even if I were to bring like a Spidaf Rachi to deal with Latias, that still wouldn't have helped me in the overall matchup, in my opinion, as it just doesn't have a good matchup against things like Arcanine and Crocodile. So I just don't think that would have been a great idea this week. So, yeah, 1-1, fucking shit show. This is the first week 2 match I've ever lost in the PPL, in case you didn't know. Season 1 I won against, I don't know, I was 3-0 after 3 weeks, that's all I remember. Season 2 I beat Colton, I think, in week 2. So this is the second time we played in week 2, funnily enough. Season 3 I was 5-0, 4-0. So that didn't happen. And last season I beat Liam. So first time I lost in week 2. Unfortunate. So I guess next season I'm gonna lose week 3 because last season I lost week 1. That's how it's gonna go, maybe. But yeah, MVP. I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. Duck Trio. I guess it was the. I don't have an MVP. I'm sorry, there is nothing. It's gonna be a fucking black screen. I don't know. Yeah, not happy with this game, honestly. Don't agree with the crocodile play at all. But that's probably just my salty ass being salty. But regardless, I still love Colton. He's the best. Great guy again. Check him out as well as Trev and all the PPL stuff. Next week, we're gonna be out for redemption. I am angry now. I am very, very angry at Pokemon. I'm gonna have to beat everyone very, very hard to be very, very less angry. I want to slap it very, very dead. Didn't sound very good. So next week we go up against Better Jack or Electric Storm 252 and his Melbourne Victory Star, someone that just got promoted from Division 2, and we're gonna have to show him the ropes in Division 1 and show him that he just can't get wins easily here, because that's not what we do. No. But for real, I'm angry at Pokemon, so I'm gonna have to win games, and like all of them preferably, because otherwise I don't see myself winning a title unless I go undefeated from here. So we'll see how that goes. I say that because Jolt exists and his team exists too, so that's pretty much the only reason I think I have to go undefeated now. Yeah, that's that. Better Jack has a Sun team. That's gonna be fun, and I have Zardex in the Sun. So, I think that's all I have to say. We're gonna come back next week. I promise you I will do my best to win that match, and then any match after that as well. So, thank you for watching. Make sure to tell me what you think of the game and the stuff. Maybe I made a misplay by over-predicting, but I just don't think that's true personally. But you can agree, you can say that, and I will not hurt you too much. Yeah, shut up. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave some newts. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.